This video is not intended for anyone 13 or younger. Hello viewers and welcome back to another My Hero Academia read-through, and today we're going to be tackling chapter 267. And last week we had the sad loss of a fan favorite, Twice, who's officially dead. Yeah, killed by hawks, sadly. And yeah, still we all still feel the loss of Twice being dead last week. So, you know what? Let's get into the new chapter and see where this continues after from what happened last week. Hopefully we don't get another person dead at the end of this chapter. So yeah, let's dive in and let's take a look at chapter 267. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It only takes 2 simple clicks. Click, click. Enjoy the episode. So we start off with we get a full cover page in the look of a comic cover, and we have Mercuro with her what looks like with her new mechanical hand to make up the loss of her hand from a couple of chapters ago. And we have with My Hero Academia by Kohei Horikoshi, translation by Calbit Cook, and lettering by John Hurt once again. And we have chapter number 267 entitled Flames. So yeah, let's move and get started, shall we? So for page 1, we go for a bit of a flashback with Hawks and Tokuyami, and Hawks is starting a conversation with him, saying, "My weakness? If I'm gonna pick something, it be fire. 'Cause even my fierce wings can burn." And we see a group of fangirls or something saying, "Hi, Hawks! Eek!" While Tokuyami continues saying, "So, how do you counter fire?" And Hawks answers in the next panel, "Before a villain can use it, I strike." And with that out of the way, we come back to present day as we see Fat Gum and what the hell? We have Charge Bold, Tokuyami, and the 2 students from Class 1B inside Fat Gum's fat tummy. And there's a weird text that's saying, with Fat Gum saying, "Out of the way, fat taxi coming through, fat taxi, personal high ride share." As the one with the visor 1B student continues saying, "Should we really be joining the rear guard?" And Chargeball continues to say, I say we can still fight." So yeah, you kind of changed your tone about what happened like a couple of chapters ago. You just wanted to go back, and now you don't want to go back to the back lines. As we continue on the next page, it's probably Fat Gum saying while the hotel and the battle still goes on. And with Fat Gum continuing saying, "You kids struck first with your wide range quirks. You rattled the enemy good. Now it's the time for the net to close in, so we can crush them little by little. At this point, your attacks would only hit our allies and trip them up." And yeah, Fat Gum's just running away from the battle while Mount Lady is seen in the background battling more. And Fat Gum continues saying, "You lend us your strength, and that was enough. Us grown-ups have got to settle the score." And we get some text from Chargeball and Mushroom Ladies, with Mushroom saying, "Nice and warm, Shroom." And Chargeball just saying, "Wouldn't mind living in here." As we see Tokuyami just looking at the top of the building, and we see basically on the next page we went back in time before Twice's death with the blue flames from Dabi's flame attack bursting out of the top floor, and we can see, I think we can get a clear picture of Hawks just flying over the way it's drawn, and Tokoyami sees it, and we only get a blue flame on the last panel of the page. For page 3, someone starts saying while the handkerchief is on the ground for Twice, that person says, "You killed him." When we move on to the next page, we cut back to continuing the fight between Dabi and Hawks. And it's pretty much confirmed that Dabi's saying all this, with him continuing saying, "How could you?" while unleashing another blue flame attack, with Hawks getting most of his wings burned by the flames, with him huffing and puffing, and he also has a bit of an inner monologue with Hawks, and Hawks says, "These flames keep getting hotter and hotter," and Dabi is just about to stomp and cause another fire burst for Hawks while doing it on his feet again. And we continue with Twice. We cut away to where the real Twice is dead, and we do see the corpse of the real Twice, so he is really dead. And the one that I missed from the last chapter was just his clone coming down to the ground floor, which was kind of harsh. And Dabi just continues saying, "Kill Twice like that?" And Hawks is puffing, while Dabi continues, "Is that?" And we get a next panel with Dabi continuing his sentence, while he has a huge menacing look, and he's kind of really enjoying having Hawks burned to a crisp, with Dabi saying, "The face of a man who just watched a friend die?" And yeah, he's enjoying this. So Dabi continues saying, "Hey now, that was rude. I haven't cried since my tear ducts got burned." All birds, yeah, that's kind of messed up. And yeah, Dabi's just about to start another fire burst on Hawks' back, with Dabi continuing saying, "With Twice around, my dream had a way better chance of coming true. So of course I'm sad he's gone." So we move on to the next page. And like I said, Dabi sets off another fire burst, as Dabi is well drawn in silhouette, being a complete creep and just enjoying being a sadist, just trying to kill Hawks at this point. With Dabi saying, "So sad." And yeah, he's just enjoying it at this point. And we get into the next set of dialogue is Hawks, and he starts a conversation saying, "You and the League, I looked into your backgrounds, but I came up with nothing on you and Shigaraki. Only you two." Well, we already know the origins of Shigaraki and his messed up childhood, and that giant bloodbath with his entire family. Yeah, kind of messed up, but we know nothing of Dabi. But we have ideas on who Dabi is at this point. And on the next page, we cut back to a flashback with, like, back a chapter ago, with Dabi saying Hawk's real name, Ta Ta Taka Takami. And Hawks is answering, "Who?" As we get into a flashback with back to the Hero Society, and this we get more insight into Hawks' childhood with what's going on at the Hero Safety Commission, with some random suits just saying, "Listen, little Kiro, Hawks. I'll just say Hawks from now on. As of today, you have to say goodbye to your name. You're about to enter a special program. to become a very special hero, okay? The training will be rough. Think you can handle it? And we have little we have tiny little Hawks with his Endeavor toy, and he's just like looking at the toy and he's just nodding and he's ready to go through with it. And we don't know how bad this special program for the Hero Safety Commission. For all we know, this special program could have been a little more darker stuff with the Hero Safety Commission and all that. We don't know. I have no idea if this was like a super dark training program or something like that. That would have like a lot of red tape going on. And so we move on to the next chapter. We see Little Hawks starting to say to the local suits at the safety commission, saying, "Can I be like him?" He's just lifting up his little Endeavor toy. "Can I be a hero who beats the bad guys?" And we get more, and Hawk says, "Just like how I was saved, can I be a shining light for everyone?" So this must have happened. So we know that Hawks did something before he got into this special program, and it sounds like it implies that Hawks was saved by Endeavor, but we don't know the circumstances around it yet. But I think we're gonna learn that soon, and then we return to Monday with Hawks answering the question that everybody's been asking. Who are you? Who is Dabi? And we see on the next page, we do technically get an answer, but we don't hear it because I'm not lying. The next page, Dabi does say something, but we don't see the text because it is intentionally darkened, blacked out by Horikoshi himself. We don't know what Dabi said. Oh, oh God. I just realized something. I just remembered something. Like, remember 2 chapters ago? Like, with Hawks? When he was start talking with, Twice before he killed him? He had that little tape recorder. I'm not 100% sure if that tape recorder was recording all that, and we don't know if that tape recorder is still playing, so we might get the answer from that, from what Dabi said on that recorder, if it's still recording. Oh God! And if it is who everybody thinks he is, who's Dabi is, and if somebody hears that, that's gonna mess up that person. A lot of people will get messed up by it. So we have Dabi finishing whatever he said. Dabi's just about to do another flame burst on Hawks' back with his foot, and Hawks looks at Dabi for some weird reason, and it is implied that whatever Dabi said, it probably shook not twice, Hawks to his core, realizing what the hell's going on. And Dabi continues, now cleared and more illegible. He says, "More than twice, more than anyone, you should have been keeping both eyes on me." So we don't know what he said, so it's probably something not good. And we see random clips on the next page, we see random clips of the battle outside. We see the city. As Dabi continues his monologue saying, "The League, Shigaraki, I never gave a crap about them." So there is kind of a little deception that Dabi is not taking the League of Villains and Shigaraki's ideals seriously. As Dabi continues saying, "A single person with a single conviction has the power to change the world." There are no true heroes. And with Dabi on the last panel of the page, he says, I plan to make Stain's will a reality. So, yeah, it's pretty nice that Dabi actually remembers he's inspired by Stain's ideology, but there were some rules for Stain's ideology, not like exterminate every hero on the goddamn planet. As Stain just leaves like the real true heroes like All Might and Midoriya spared because in Stain's eyes they're worthy of the word hero. All those other posers and all the people who's taking advantage of like just in it for the profit and not doing their job. Yeah, they deserve to die. But I think it's implied that Dabi just wants to exterminate every hero. It doesn't really matter if it fits Stain's ideas of his worthiness, like Stain's ideas of worthy of that title. And Dobby's just say, screw that last part. I'm just gonna exterminate every last hero I can find. That's what I get. As we move on to the next page, I can't remember how this. Oh yeah, now I got it. With Dobby still continuing saying, "Your life's another thing I don't care about." Seahawks as we go down, back to the sanctuary in the basement, and we cut back to Giga, still doing nothing, and he's just holding on to the radio, just waiting for Shigaraki or the Mad Doctor's orders to, go apeshit and destroy every goddamn person, every goddamn hero he can find. But But with that bit of foreshadowing out of the way, we quickly cut back to Jakku Hospital super quickly and catch up what Mukuro has been doing with the four high ends she's been dealing with, as she still continues to fight Majin, Sindel, and Elephant high end. And we still get some action scenes, and we have Mukuro continuing with her dialogue saying, I ain't with her inner monologue, she's saying to herself, I ain't landing hits anymore. And it's not 'cause they're wearing me down. I know my body's better than anyone. But their eyes, it's like they're awake now. Oh god. They so these so the three high-end Nomus are now awake, and they're pretty much at that point where Hood was at that point, and now they're thinking. And Mukuro continues her inner dialogue saying, this is fun, but... And Mukuro just says, no choice. As we cut to the next page, we see she just runs away and slip past through Majin, Elephant, and Sindel. And while doing that, Majin starts speaking much better, and he says, off towards the doctor again? Foolish woman. As we see another panel with Mukuro getting skewered by Majin through the hand, and another Majin tendrils cutting through her, like cutting through the side of the stomach. As we see, I think the hand of Elephant just grabbing her hair and just ripping it off. Oh, no, not her. Not her. Yeah, her side, and Majin, not her hand. Not That's what I thought, but on closer inspection, it's one of her ears. So, yeah. I don't see Mukuro surviving this arc. She would have a lot of luck to survive this. And she's just like, ugh! And just heading towards and while Mukuro's going straight to the door that the Mad Doctor went through before, she says back to her inner monologue saying, gotta reach the old far. And Shigaraki. As she goes through the tunnel towards the Mad Doctor, she has her inner monologue saying, quick as a rabbit, it's no sweat. Just focus on running. If you're gonna, and we move to the next page, she continues running down the hallway as she has her inner monologue continuing, saying, "If you're going to die, get the job done first, Murkuro." She's running and running as we see the tendrils of, I think we see, like, the tendrils of Margin trying to catch up or something to do with the artwork. Murkuro does make it, and she does get through the tunnel, and she's just about to do a big, epic kick on Shigaraki's tube, and the Mad Doctor does look to his left and probably does see Murkuro. And we cut to the next page, and we see... oh god, and the Mad Doctor's just doing his best, like, shocked impersonation, like... She's like... The Mad Doctor's like, "What? You got through all that too?" Jesus. The Mad Doctor's gonna have a heart attack eventually from all that stress, as we do get a shot of Shigaraki's tube, but she's rudely interrupted by Majin with two tendrils attacks. She dodges the first one that barely scrape her fuzzy tail on her costume. But the other one of Majin tendrils does go through, like, the leg, like, straight through, harpoon through it. And that's gotta be a pain. And on the next panel, we do see Majin come in from the tunnel, and he says, "Cramped in here?" And Murkuro screaming her head off, "Argh!" with Murkuro's inner monologue kicking in, saying, "Not done yet." And as we move to the next page, we continue with the shot of Majin with Murkuro continuing saying, "Because a hero never, ever." But before we get rudely interrupted by it. We cut back to the hotel again, as we see Fire of Dabi, and then on the last panel of the page, we see Dabi getting forced back for some weird reason. As for the next page, we see Hawks surprised on who his savior is, and we see a strange, familiar-looking trail with a cloak or something. And on the last panel of page 19, we see it's Tokoyami who entered the battlefield without his cloak, and he's got Dark Shadow covering Hawks. As Tokoyami says, "Hawks!" And yeah, it's implied we're getting a Tokoyami versus Dabi fight. So yeah, Tokoyami is at a huge disadvantage right away because, yeah, he's up against Dabi, who can spew flames. And flames is a source of light, and Tokoyami's Dark Shadow is kind of weak to light, as we saw from the training arc. So yeah, Tokoyami is not going to have an easy fight with Dabi. And even before we get some kind of a fight, we get rudely interrupted that Endeavor has finally made his way into the inner workings of the lab, as he attacks Majin from behind, just pounding Majin's brain and probably burning him to a crisp, saving Murkuro. And on the last panel of the page for this chapter, Murkuro finishes the sentence by lifting out of her leg of that her harpooned leg, about to smash Shigaraki's tube, as she says, and finishes the sentence saying that heroes will never give up. That heroes never ever gives up hope. And next chapter will hit on April 12th. And yeah, this is gonna get interesting. So we have a Tokoyami fight with Dabi, and Tokoyami's getting a lot of love for this arc so far, and we're finally getting only one A student up against a major villain, and that's Dabi. And Tokoyami is kind of not suited to fight Dabi because of that light weakness from the training arc. And Dark Shadow's not going to be as helpful because Dabi can spew flames, and it does affect Dark Shadow because it's making light. So yeah, that's not going to be easy for Dabi. Not going to be easy for Tokoyami, but then we get Murkuro. I'm probably going to think it's not going to do much damage to the tube or something, or the bad doctor's going to pull something. And Shigaraki's going to be okay. But the worst case scenario, Murkuro does smash the tube, and that's just going to make Shigaraki pissed off, and he's going to wake up super early. And yeah, this is going to turn ugly with Murkuro and Endeavor when Shigaraki wakes up and he's not even at full power yet. Like, he's probably going to be only 70% at full power, and he can only harness that for now until he's 100% complete. So yeah, this is gonna get a little crazy for the next few chapters later. And I'll see you all in chapter 268. So until then, have a good day, everybody, and I'll hope to see you all next time, and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.